and gentlemen. I'm proud to bring you another game from Reddit.com. The subreddit is rcastit. And spawning here in the upper right-hand position and appears to have stopped 3 of his probes, it is the blue Protoss, oh gosh, I believe this is green, the green Protoss player, Pinnapple, I believe. It's spelled a little incorrectly, but we'll give him some leeway. And spawning down in the lower right-hand corner is the pink Zerg player, the ghostly Zerg player, MagnusWolf. Now, this game, again, from rcastit, and judging by this, this is a custom game. This, of course, is not a ladder map. This is GSL Belshire Beach, the Winter Edition. And a couple of things to note about this map. First, if you played some of the older editions of Belshire Beach, you will see just this one ramp. There's no second ramp over here into the natural expansion. So do you see Pinnapple throwing down his first pylon up at the front? This will indicate more of a Forge Fast expand style, and eventually we'll probably see the Nexus come up here. I actually realized I spelled Pinnapple's name incorrectly on the scoreboard. So I'm going to fix that real quick while nothing's happening. Shh. There we go. And, I mean, really nothing much is going to happen for a while, guys. So we do see the normal set of trees in the middle of the map replaced by this nice crevasse, and somehow all the palm trees have turned into pine trees, which is a very interesting thing. So Pinnapple now scooting to boot with his first probe. Hasn't seen an expansion going here now to block it, actually. This is not the best investment, of course, for Pinnapple, as MagnusWolf is going for the spawning pool first. There's the 4U and a happy face. Coming up from Pinnapple. But regardless, we do see the spawning pool first, so he normally would have the Zerglings anyway. This will just delay the expansion by a little bit, at least according to his plan. We do see the scouts moving back across the map, the counter scout going to come in from the Zerg player, and he's going to get up and see the forge at the front. So nothing too unstandard so far from Pinnapple, actually blocking his cannon right now, but these 2 probes are going to be able to chase it away. And we'll see if he gets a cannon. He should know by now that this is going to be a spawning pool first, so he'll want to get a couple more buildings up at this front to at least narrow down the choke in case some Zerglings get in here. Instead, he's going to play quite risky, it looks like, saving up way more than enough money for the Nexus, and there it goes. So we could have kind of an interesting situation. And now MagnusWolf actually being quite cheeky, taking this 3rd base, and denying even some scout information, really, from Pinnapple. This pylon eventually going to be picked off by the one drone, just biting away at it. We do see the first couple of lings in production, as well as the first queen for MagnusWolf, so it doesn't look like he's going to be getting aggressive anytime soon. Another probe coming in for another scout from Pinnapple, or perhaps just to hide here in case of a proxy, or for another proxy pylon, and do some early aggression. We do see the Nexus about halfway done, and the hatchery a little bit ahead, so MagnusWolf will still be happy with the timing of his expansion. The Ling's actually going to chase off the probe now, so whatever that plan was is going to be denied. Meanwhile, this drone has been furiously working away at it, has managed to whittle it down to yellow health. Probe trying to retreat across the map. These Lings probably, you know, dual purpose. If he can get the probe, that's brilliant. If not, he's going to get a scout on his opponent's base. So he'll get up here and see this wide open gap, maybe hope that, and maybe wish that he'd made a couple more Zerglings for the run by. Because there's just not a lot here to defend. There's only this cannon right now, and this huge non-ultralisk proof wall. This gateway doing a little bit more to constrict it, but there's still another building or 2 that needs to be placed down here for the complete wall off. But MagnusWolf sitting back, droning up. We'll probably see him take this expansion pretty soon. He has enough money. Now he's got the drone. There he goes. So there are really 2 things you can do to counter the Forge Fast expand from the Protoss player as a Zerg. You can go ahead and get a 3rd expansion very quickly, which is what we see MagnusWolf doing in this case, or you can build a lot of units and just go bust down the wall before they're able to get up a whole lot of units. But in this case, really both players are going to just have to sit back for a while. They just don't have any, actually the Protoss doesn't have any army. His first Zealot due to come up here in just a couple seconds with the Chrono Boost. and starting the Cybernetics Horde back in his main. So now Pinnapple has a lot of options. He has the economy up, and you can do a lot of really interesting timing attacks off the two bases. Whereas MagnusWolf, playing pretty in the dark. He does know about the expansion and the couple of buildings at the front. But he'll be content just to drone up for a while. We do see the lair coming down, not really as a response to something, but probably something that MagnusWolf has in his mind. Mutalisk's very good on this map, as you do see the surface area to harass. This entire front area can be, you know, harassed by Mutalisks, and you need a lot of units to defend both bases at once. So I imagine that's what we'll see, especially since there's no Roach Warren yet. But we'll see what he tends to do, or what he wants to do. Excuse my choice of words there. We do see Warp Gate coming down, as well as a couple more gateways, and this is Stargate from Pinnapple. And, you know, really you can go any tech you want off of the Forge Fast Expand, and going Stargate will allow him to get some harassment in, especially if his opponent didn't get the quick lair. We do see that's not the case, so the MagnusWolf's tech choice will probably be able to help defend, regardless of what he chooses. He does have the Roach Warren coming down. It's this building over here. Now, roaches aren't so good against area units. They tend not to be able to actually hit them at all. So hopefully we'll see some sort of other tech. The Evolution Chamber also going to help, as it'll allow him to build Spore Crawlers. But really, just kind of blind tech from both players. Neither player able to get in much of a scout at this point. Ling at the front of the ramp, really the only thing, you know, keeping either player in the dark. And another gateway finished for Pinnapple, so he's up to 5 gates and a Stargate, and the Void Ray going to be the first thing out. Typically, you'll send the Void Ray off to the third base location and see if you can take something down there. Oh, this is a very nice Overlord from MagnusWolf. He'll be able to see everything going on, and he even sees the Void Ray pop out. So this is a very valuable Overlord, maybe the hero of the game so far. So now an interesting choice for Pinnapple. His Void Ray has been scouted, which means that his opponent able to prepare. We do see 4 Spore Crawlers going on to aid in the defense, as well as 3 more Queens. I think they might be overdoing it a little bit, especially only seeing 1 Stargate. And the Phoenix going to come out now and just sit there. We do see, I like this, spreading Overlords out a little bit. He'll be able to see the angle of attack, even if he does lose some of these Overlords. But he'll be able to keep tabs on the couple of air units that are out so far. And really, we still haven't seen MagnusWolf's plan. He's gotten a quick lair, and he's gotten the Roach Warren, but I'm curious to see what he'll transition to. I mean, typically you'll see Hydralisks or Mutas, but after scouting that Stargate and building all these Spore Crawlers, I think going Hydralisks might be overdoing it for the area units. We do see a fleet beacon going down. I'm going to try to find it. It's just right here next to the Stargate, and there's a second Stargate going down. And the blind tech choice for MagnusWolf, he's going to get that Spire. And a couple of units moving across the map for Pinnapple, looking to put on some aggression. Does have 2 Phoenixes and a Void Ray to help back it up. And this army actually fairly scary looking. Those sentries have quite a bit of energy to be able to force field off Lings. And meeting up with some more Zealots, and now here comes the push from the Protoss player. A lot here, or not a whole lot here to defend. A couple Roaches and a couple Lings, with quite a few more units on the way. And it looks like the Protoss player is just going to push toward the third base. I'm not sure I necessarily like the choice, but he does have the force fields available to him. And here comes the Zerg army down the ramp, and force fields off a couple of Roaches, so he'll be able to take care of the Lings and then the Roaches. The Lings actually done tanking in this fight. And a couple of Roaches lifted up just to negate the damage, and it looks like the Protoss player will be able just to overrun the army. But more reinforcements coming in, 12 more Roaches and 6 Lings in production, as well as the Spire just completing. This means that if he can get rid of the Phoenixes and the Stalkers somehow, he'll be in a good position against the rest of the army with the Mutalisks. But now the Protoss player just kind of engaging and backing up. The couple of Roaches trying to pick off what they can at the back, not doing a very good job. And now the third base completely overrun for the Zerg player. The drone's pulled, and it looks like he's just going to have to sacrifice that expansion while getting up a couple more units. The Queen's in a battle with the Void Ray, and the Void Ray taking quite a bit of hull damage. Not exactly ideal. The Roach is now being rallied in, and able to take out all the entries. Only Stalkers and Zealots left, which Roaches do trade pretty well against. The Queen's coming in to try and help out against the air units. The Void Ray actually goes down. But we do see 2 carriers in production now for the Protoss player. I'd point that out more awesomely, except that this fight is going on. And it does look like MagnusWolf able to hold without losing the third expansion. So I would say MagnusWolf doing very well so far. He is ahead in supply by 6, and he'll be able to keep extending that lead as he has a third base, and his opponent just now placing his down. Using this Phoenix to pick up a Ling, not exactly the best trade for the energy. But now Pinnapple's in kind of a weird spot. He's been investing heavily in these carriers as well as the Graviton Catapult upgrade for them. And his opponent might expect the transition out of airplay, honestly. So it could catch him by surprise. We do see the flyer attacks level 1 going down for the Zerg player in the Spire. But he doesn't have any air units on the field as of yet. So this kind of a weird upgrade to be getting at this point. And getting the flyer attacks typically indicates that you want to do more harassment, but not include them in your general army composition. We do see Protoss air weapons level 2 being researched, kind of an unfamiliar upgrade to most people, as well as the Twilight Council going down, and Pinnapple just sitting back and teching right now on his 2 bases, almost 3. And maybe he'll be able to catch the Zerg by surprise with these carriers. It does look like Pinnapple wants to go on some more aggression now. An entirely Zealot, like, carrier Phoenix army. With a couple of Stalkers left over from the last fight. So this just kind of a weird army composition now, and it'll be interesting to see if Magnus will be able to respond. He still hasn't scouted this army move out, and he's not going to be able to until they get within range of this creep tumor. Actually, he might be able to see him. We do see the Mutalisks coming into the top part of the map for MagnusWolf. He's got 6 of them to do some harassment, but this is going to be the real danger. The Lings and the Roaches now trying to take down a whole bunch of Zealots. The Carriers are now getting involved in the battle, targeting down the Queen first, the only anti-air, and here come more Queens. But the carrier's doing a lot of damage. These Mutas being pissed off by Stalkers, down to 4 or 6 of them. And the Protoss player now moving in. He has free reign of the Zerg player's base. And I can hear the Mutalisks actually being shot down by Stalkers. He needs to get that away. The WTF coming down from MagnusWolf, as he didn't expect the carrier